Now, this is the fun part, Rico, because all jokes aside, these are the days that no one will remember. This is a day where I will be nothing but nice to the Lions. This is a day where I will credit Sheila Ford Hamp and Brad Holmes and say, you know what? Citizen Kane, slow clap. They really did a nice job last night. And I love the fact, hey, even if you don't love Jamison Williams, let me explain something. The Aiden thing is what it is. It was never good and bad, black and white, win or lose. It was preference. Rico prefers blueberries on his cheesecake. I prefer the cherries. Both are solid options. Aiden and Thibodeau are both solid options. So the point was, okay, you get what you want it to. Show us that you're willing to be bold. And I think what you saw last night, look, I know Rico will do the Jordan Davis deal. I'm not, he has a right to the feelings.
I've let that go.
No, but I'm saying when they moved up, your heartbeat started to flutter a little bit.
It was, wait a minute.
Okay, I myself thought they were moving up for Kyle Hamilton. I really did. And you know my thoughts on Jamison Williams. Like, if he didn't get hurt, he's a top 5 pick. So if you want to know, because they'll never tell you, but here's the truth. I think their big board, if you ever got a copy of it, probably had Jamison Williams at like 6. And just like I begged them to do, hey, when it gets to pick 11, pick 12, get on the phone. And this is the ultimate example of if you don't ask for the order, you don't get it. I never would have imagined they could have made that deal with Minnesota where basically they only gave up 1 first-round pick to move up 20 spots, and they end up keeping a second-round pick, Rico, and they're picking at 46. Look, if people want to say, well, I don't like who they took, we can have a discussion. What I will tell you is this. You're seeing the value of wide receivers. You're seeing teams reach. And I think as the Lions sat back last night, look, they knew they were taking Hutchinson, clearly, right? But they sat back and went, wait, Garrett Wilson's off the board, but not Jamison. Wait, Drake London, who finished the year hurt, factually, is off the board, but not Jamison. And they sprung into action. Why? Because in their mind, and this is something that I think we agree on, and I know you do, Jamison Williams is different. Jamison Williams was going to be that dude. He would have been, if you told me he would have gone to the Jets at 4, I'd believe it. So you go, well, you took an injured player. Okay, but we're being sold this is a long rebuild anyways. He was hurt in January. I just watched Cam Akers blow his Achilles and come back in 5 months.
Right.
You know, we've seen Adrian Peterson go off an ACL 8 months later and run for 2,000 yards. And Rico's going to sell you on the most intelligent point of the day. Take your time.
Thank you.
And it's there's no arguing. I'm making the point to people that even taking your time, you're going to see Jamison Williams.
If it was up to me, Jamison Williams' first game would be Thanksgiving.
Okay.
You would see him. It is. Why? Because at this point, hopefully you've lost enough games that even him coming back into the fold can't screw up your pick, and you're somewhere in the top 7.
There's no argument.
But you're not rushing him back because the worst thing that I want to see is him come here, rush back, and then he's out in training camp or he re-injures himself on some drill, and you're like, why were you doing this? Slow it down because you risked a lot. You invested a lot in this man. This isn't a 7th-round pick where he's, you know what, he's disposable.
Let me tell you something.
This is your guy. So take your time and do what you got to do. Now, I applaud how they moved up. I like the move. It
made me feel better about the organization.
I like what the organization did. I wasn't in love with the pick. I don't hate the pick. I thought you could have done better.
So if I power rank the players out, because I named the 3.
Because we talked about this.
That was days ago.
I told you. Aiden, Davis, now you got a defensive line that I think will run the NFC North for years.
And factually, the Eagles
and here's the beauty
took
of it.
Davis right after you.
Here's the beauty of it. Years down the line, you're going to be more apt to re-sign those two than to re-sign a wide receiver.
Now, look.
Now, I know that's years from now, and nobody cares about that right now.
Yeah, I don't really.
But you would have solidified that line. Boom, boom, you got it.
And here's the other thing. If Jameson Williams is anything other than Jamar Chase or anything other than Tyreek Hill, it's not going to be a great pick. He can't just be good. He has to be, the floor has to be like Justin Jefferson. He has to be one of the elite players in the league. And
the floor has to be the ceiling.
The ceiling is the roof.
There it is.
Michael Jordan, one of the greatest speeches ever. But look, I love the fact that, look, they had to run it by Sheila. She didn't get in the way. This was Brad Holmes, to me, doing something that no general manager in this town has been willing to do. Expose themselves to criticism, put themselves on the clock, so to speak. This is Brad Holmes trusting his scouting background, his scouts, his staff, and his board, and saying, I got this. And now, depending on how this works or doesn't, he will be judged in a major way. The next big move he's got to make really comes down to if and when they need a quarterback. But look, I'd love to hear from you guys on it. I told you, you're not going to hear any complaints about Aiden. It's never been chocolate, vanilla, win, lose, good, bad. It's just preference.
No.
I want to thank you guys because you handed my team the best player in the draft, and I appreciate that. That was a very nice thing for you to do after the 18 years of entertainment I've provided you, that you gave me Kayvon Thibodeau.
And see, I thought that when they moved up, wow, you're about to give Aiden some help, some assistance. This may be special. This would have been enough that I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can start following this team again.
Just wait till I tell you what I want him to do at 46. Listen, here's the other thing, and I don't want to. I don't want to lose the opportunity to once again. Look, when teams do things I think are smart, I'll tell you, it's not my fault. The teams in this league generally stick their head in the toilet. They called San Francisco and they put an offer out there. Do you know how we know that? Ask me how we know that.
How do you know that, Mike?
Because a report came out about it last night. If you make
does this mean you can stop bitching about it?
Yes, because they did everything I wanted.
No, that's every person. Tell Mike quit bitching about it.
You know what?
No.
Okay.
I like the fact that they did make a move. Well, I knew when they turned down the Jets offer for Debo ain't going nowhere. The number 10 pick and swapping some other picks, and they were like, nah, no thanks. There was nothing the Lions could offer aside from saying, well, you want Aiden Hutchinson,
but they tried.
Give you Debo.
But they tried, and that's all I ever asked. So who are these people who are mad at me before I get on the air?
Oh, this is people, Mike.
So let me just get this straight.
You just need to stop always complaining about the Lions.
Do me a favor.
You're going to sing praises to the Lions. They're going to love you today.
Well, no. The point is they won't remember it in 10 minutes. And second of all, why don't you win something? You ever think that maybe I'm on the right side of history with this team? Jesus. Look, I thought last night was the atypical Lions thing. The easiest thing to do would be sit there, take the hometown hero, sell a few sweets, and then wait till 32, and what? Take the best of it.
No. Here's the thing. At 32 was actually a player that I was hoping that they would take.
Well, Lewis Seen?
Yeah. I wouldn't have been mad. And you got Christian Watson still available.
I know.
You could have took him if you really wanted that wide receiver.
Here, I'll say it.
There was value there. It was a risk.
Just put it on the board then. Just put it on the board. I'd rather have Jameson Williams than those two. Lewis Seen, Christian Watkins, or I get Jameson Williams. I'd rather have Jameson Williams.
So two guys that can play immediately.
I'd rather have Jameson
versus one that you got on layaway.
Straight up.
Okay.
I'll own it. And if I'm wrong, people can crucify me. I'm just saying, you know how I want to build this team. You must have high-end players. Look, as good as San Francisco is, the reality is your core 6 guys, the Debos, for now he's on the team, the Nick Bosas, the Fred Werners, those are the dudes, right? DeForest Buckner before you got rid of him.
The Debo you got in the second round.
I understand, but this is bottom line. You must get those people because you don't win with a good, solid roster or a good, solid room. You got to have difference makers, and they're taking a swing on a difference maker.